America is already one of the most powerful nations in the world, so imagine being the person who is the face of the nation, the president. Defending such a position is up to the Secret Service, and we can tell you that one of the worst things you can attempt is messing with the Secret Service. To make sure that the president of the U.S.A. doesn't come into any harm, they employ some of the most insane tactics that will make your jaw drop. Are you ready? Let us count down the top 15 insane Secret Service tactics. Number 15, human shielding. Well, the first one on the list, and we're already serious. Whenever you see the president, he is usually bodies away, and it isn't just a coincidence. The Secret Service erects a formation to keep out any unwanted intrusions. They can easily intercept anything that can cause danger to the president, and although this practice feels extremely basic, it is known to be extremely effective. It even saved Richard Nixon from getting him crushed by a Latin American mob, as well as Ronald Reagan from an assassination attempt. Number 14, tactical driving. In the event of an attack on the president during transit on the road, the Secret Service personnel driving need to be able to escape the situation immediately without any form of damage or harm to the president whatsoever. To be able to do this, the drivers are trained in offensive and defensive driving, including maneuvers like the three-wheel J-turn, reverse acceleration, and the ability to ram into other vehicles safely. You thought stunt drivers moved crazy in the movies, and that was A game? It's S tier for the Secret Service. Number 13, getting shot. Yeah, nothing screams danger more than protecting the one man that is in danger of assassination all the time, so it is no surprise that Secret Service members have to always be prepared for anything to happen, including getting shot at or getting caught in open fire. Being able to serve effectively while under attack is an impressive tactic that is learned during training. During training, members are shot with bullets similar to ones used to carry out attacks. The only difference is they only leave stings and do not penetrate. Having this tactic handy increases the speed at which the president is rescued, so why not? Number 12, filming everything. Yeah, filming everything, everywhere, and every time of the day is just like it sounds. Disturbing and unsettling. Not concerning the president though, because this tactic is extremely important for the president's safety. It wasn't always this way until the unfortunate assassination of President John Kennedy. Cameras failed to identify the assassin after the incident in 1963. From then on, the Secret Service began to film every public appearance and motorcade of the president. This tactic is important in identifying any potential threats, as well as fighting suspects in the event of an attack. Number 11, crowd scanning. Personal and close-up interactions are not completely avoidable even by the President of the United States, and in order to ensure he is not endangered as a result, the Secret Service constantly scans the area around the president to monitor people, especially those who have their hands in their pockets or bulges in their jackets. The biggest advantage for them with this tactic are their sunglasses, which are so dark it is impossible to see their eyes. They can scan around and see perfectly while others can't tell that they are being watched. If the president invites you for dinner, remember, all eyes are on you, and at least this time it is not because you're the man of the hour. Number 10, trip planning. Going on a trip and traveling to a different location for an ordinary American can involve as little as packing a bag, booking a flight, and going on your way. For the Secret Service, it is extremely different. Planning a route and booking a room in a hotel is already a procedure. The Secret Service considers every minor detail that concerns the president's trip. This includes constantly monitoring the airspace, mapping out the route plan for the trip, identifying and sweeping through the vehicles that make up the entourage, booking low-risk hotels that can book out entire floors without any issues, hospitals, and safety homes on the route. These procedures and preparations have to be done months in advance. Number 9, always watching. You would think the Secret Service doesn't blink at the rate they watch the president. To be constantly watched by another person is scary, but from the time of appointment till their service is done, the president is never without security detail. The president is going to the bathroom, security. A service agent is always required to be available, but the effects of constantly being followed after some point in life becomes overbearing. For instance, President Richard Nixon got tired of it and had it relinquished in 1985, replacing the Secret Service with his own private security team. Number 8, Sistema. Protecting the president cannot be done by just anyone, and if you're signing up for it, know that it involves a lot of training. Secret Service members have to be trained by military personnel in a martial arts style that quickly neutralizes physical threats. This style is called Sistema. This is a type of Russian martial arts system known for its brutality and was originally used by the Russian secret services like the KGB and can easily defeat an assailant by taking advantage of the joint joints in an attacker's body. This way, you can deflect any physical attacks against the president. Oh, by the way, the Secret Service is not prohibited from subscribing to our channel, so you're not either. Consider subscribing, will ya? Number 7. Food testing. Free food only sounds fun when you are not testing for poison. Food poisoning is by far one of the easiest ways to kill a president, so the Secret Service monitors every single process when the food is made by chefs that have not been cleared. Now, this doesn't apply to every situation though, because if the president is in a place like, say, Buckingham Palace, they relax a little bit. Another interesting fact is that when the president's meal is a takeout, the Secret Service usually have it delivered to a building nearby so as to avoid suspicion being drawn to the fact that the meal belongs to the president. Number 6. Letter testing. So many things can be delivered in a letter, and the Secret Service knows this. Threatening comments to the president online are much more trackable than letters addressed to the president with no return address. However, to find out the writer of the letter, the Secret Service has a number of tricks up their sleeve. If the letter is handwritten, they can run handwriting scans to find similar handwritings. If it is typed, they consult their ink database and match the colors to the tag. This way, they can find out which company sold it and the place it was shipped to. This can narrow down their search area, making them find the culprit easily. Number 5. Death threats to the president. The U.S.A. is a free country to a large extent, and that means freedom of the press too. What this causes is a people who are free to criticize people in power as much as they want. Well, to a limit. The worst thing you can say is say you want to kill the president or wish death on him. This is a Class D felony under the law of the U.S.A. and is punishable by up to 5 years in jail, a bail of $250,000, and up to 3 years of probation after release. The Secret Service makes use of advanced tech to find those who say such. After the suspect is brought in, investigations are launched and can vary from Class 1 threats, which are basically harmless, Class 2 threats, which are serious but are made by people without resources, and Class 3 threats, which are very dangerous and can involve arrest of the suspect. Left to us, we won't talk about the president at all. Number 4. Marine One. Traveling between cities doesn't always happen on the road for the president because the motorcade is often more expensive than the president's helicopter, known only as Marine One. The counterpart Marine Two is used to transport the vice president. All air vehicles for the president can be given coded names, but the helicopters usually are HMX-1 Nighthawks and VH-60M Whitehawks. The Secret Service usually have up to 5 similar helicopters to disguise which one really has the president. They also always make sure that anyone in charge of operation pass a white yanking background training in order to avoid tampering with the vehicles. Number 3. White House security tricks. As the White House is the home of the president, it is extremely difficult to walk into. A tour is allowed if you book 21 days ahead. This is because the Secret Service needs to run a background check on you, and if you're not on the schedule, well, good luck getting in. The perimeter is surrounded by infrared lasers that cover the airspace and underground, which can detect as small as a mouse coming into the perimeter. The airspace of Washington, D.C. is considered a no-fly zone as well, so that means no jets, no drones, or no planes allowed. The windows and doors are bulletproof, so it's impenetrable. Number 2. Air Force One. The president constantly needs to travel, so it's up to the Secret Service to find and furnish a suitable aircraft for the president. The code name Air Force One is often given to either Boeing 747 or 200B series aircrafts. They have an unlimited travel range, protection against electromagnetic attacks, and communication centers in the event of an attack. Besides protection, these aircrafts are also very luxurious and have everything furnished for utmost comfort of the president, including a suite, an office, as well as a medical area in any case of health risks for the president. Feeding, shelter, and luxury are all in the president's craft. And number 1, the Beast. The presidential vehicle is the absolute top of safety on the road in America. Nicknamed the Beast, this vehicle is a limousine designed to look like a Cadillac. The car is driven by the Secret Service, and it has a powerful diesel engine and transmission, weighs 900 kilograms, and reaches a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The car's doors are reportedly 27 meters thick, meaning they are nearly impenetrable. The windows are bulletproof, and the underbody is reinforced with a 13-centimeter steel plate to protect it from bombs. The interior is also equipped with tear gas, oxygen tanks, the president's blood type, night vision camera, and a foam that can protect against chemical attacks. The car is difficult to drive though, so it only comes out in the event of extreme security. Hey, thank you for watching our video. Some men need security too, not because they are presidents, but because they are billionaires. This next video tells you about how one man, Richard Branson, spends $4.4 billion. Enjoy!